Hello my fellow chef knives enthusiasts! This video is about quite a rare piece of Teruyasu Fujiwara, or at least I have never seen one of these blades in stock out there in the wild. I'm pretty excited about that because I think Teruyasu Fujiwara knives are just awesome. Why are they so awesome? I only need to say one word to explain. Denka, 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 denka. Okay, those were 4 words, but they were the same words over and over again, so it still counts. But who's counting? Did that make any sense? Anyway, the Fujiwara Denka series are probably one of the most iconic series of Japanese knives out there, although there are lots of people with various opinions. But in my humble opinion, my Denka Nakiri is one of the best performing knives I've ever held in my hands. It's just a feeling that I have when I'm cutting with that knife or sharpening the blade. The heat treatment on that steel is so on point. When you put a crisp edge on one of those Denkas, they cut through things like a lightsaber. But enough about the Fujiwara Denka series, because this video is not about a Denka. In this box I have a 215mm Teruyasu Fujiwara Chinese cleaver or Chuka Bocho with a Nashiji finish. I knew of its existence. It's not that I discovered a completely new species or anything, you just don't see one of these very often. So I'm pretty excited to have one actually in my hands right now. I'm glad that I have the opportunity to show this knife to you guys, and I don't know about you, but I can't wait to unbox this thing. The handle is a full tang. It's made out of rosewood, but a bit short and chunky. A knife like this you probably grab in a pinch grip anyway. You don't really need a huge handle. But let's take a look at this 250mm Teruyasu Fujiwara Chuka Bocho. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. I like the 250mm length on this one. Really nice. It's not just all about the length, of course. Look at the height on this one as well. It's also a pretty tall blade, coming in at 95mm from the heel up to the spine. It will definitely get you to some fun places. Even Stevie Wonder can see that this is a rather big blade and heavy knife. Because of the big heavy blade and the short handle, the balance point is quite close to the middle of the whole thing, making this a really nicely front heavy blade. This knife is weighing in at 473 grams, which is pretty hefty. For such a big and rather heavy blade, it still really feels surprisingly nimble, although of course it's, it has some weight to it. So yeah, this is definitely a hefty cleaver. It's not a tiny little Nakiri. This blade should also not be confused with a butcher knife or a meat cleaver. You don't want to be hacking through bones with this knife or anything that you wouldn't bite through with your own teeth for that matter. You'll be definitely chipping the Shirogami #1 edge. So do keep in mind that this is a vegetable cleaver or slicer, which is supposed to be used like an all-purpose kind of chef's knife. A classically trained Chinese chef would definitely know what to do with this thing, and the things they do with this is pretty impressive. Everything you can do with a gyuto or a Western chef's knife, you should be able to do with this guy as well, albeit a little bit differently. It will definitely take some getting used to, but like any knife, the more you use them, the less it feels like an effort. The overall length is about 350mm. Because this blade has a rather short handle, it barely fits in my hands holding it like this, so for people with huge hands it kind of forces you to hold it in a pinch grip, which to be honest is the best way to hold a knife like this anyways. On the spine you can clearly see the core steel sandwiched in between the stainless cladding. The spine starts about 3mm from the handle and tapers down just a little bit towards the front of the knife. knife. The blade is made of Shirogami #1 or white carbon steel, which was heat treated to a Rockwell hardness of 62 and has a stainless clad. This makes the blade relatively easy to maintain. Only the exposed core is going to react and form a patina. You still want to keep it properly dry and clean by wiping it down during and after use, but in spite of being made by Shirogami #1, which is a very reactive steel, this knife will not so much be a pain in the ass to take care of. And let's not forget to take a look at this beautiful Nashiji finish.
Nashiji finish?
Yeah, Nashiji finish. The Nashiji finish is a pretty common finish on Japanese knives actually. It has a cool textured feel that comes from a knife finishing technique where the surface of the blade is left looking unfinished and rustic. The Nashiji finish imitates the skin of the Asian Pyrus pyrifolia pear, which is this good looking and probably nice tasting little fella. Nashi is pear, ji is surface. So Nashiji means surface like a pear fruit. And if I look closely, the surface of the blade is not completely even. There's definitely a little bit of a tsuchime under there as well. I can clearly feel a few subtle dents on the blade where the hammer pounded the steel. Also something I want to mention about the Nashiji finish. In my experience, a Nashiji finish also ages pretty nice and gracefully on a knife. Even when your knife gets a little banged up, you don't really notice scratches on a Nashiji finish that well, for example. So for working horse knives, it's quite a nice finish to have. The profile on this blade is quite squarish, pretty much straightforward. What I do want and expect from a blade like this is more of a flat spot. This blade doesn't really have a flat spot. Towards the end of the edge, it curves up, so you can easily lift and drop this knife on the cutting board to mince herbs or mince meat. It's definitely not a profile I would prefer to have on a blade like this. Here's a choil shot. You can clearly see the bevel is not particularly wide or high, but it does get pretty thin behind the edge. I assume this blade will perform surprisingly well for such a thick and hefty blade. I expect that it will just drop through things like carrots or potatoes or onions and other stuff with no problems whatsoever because of the sheer weight of the blade. And it most probably feel pretty satisfying and a lot of fun to play with. This is unfortunately not my knife and has a very reactive core of Shirogami #1 steel. I won't be able to show this knife in action, so I guess this pretty much wraps it all up. As always, thank you for watching this video and supporting my channel. I'm interested to hear your thoughts about this knife and or Chinese cleavers in general. Do you own one of these knives and do you like to use it? Do you own a Fujiwara knife? Did it have terrible fit and finish, or is it just a little bit wabi-sabi? Leave your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments and I'll see you in the next one. Bye folks!